to be the best, you got to beat the best.
100%.
So no team in the SEC shies away from playing anybody.
We got a lot of guys who played a lot of football, who got years under their belt.
I came here and there was no NIL, there wasn't any pay to play. I didn't come here for money, I came here because I loved the city, the university, the team.
You get all the ugly stuff out of the way, figure out what you can do, figure out what you can't do, and go from there.
The development from day one of fall camp to
Week
week
one.
one is astronomical. Not much has changed here with Willie B. I mean, it's been 13 or 14 years since we were slinging the piglet around in there. But everything else, everything else has changed, and including this, the Long Family Football Ops Center. It is pretty astounding. I mean, look how sweet this place is now. The Long Family, big supporters of the Gamecocks.
This is an operations center right here.
This is not throwing any shame on any of the NFL teams I've played for, but this is probably a nicer facility than every single one of
I
those.
mean, this is unbelievable. What do you say we go in there, huh?
Let's go see. Well, I mean, there's a reason why you should be kicked out. I should be allowed in.
It's ridiculous.
What are we doing here?
Hello. Hey.
Finally.
I couldn't tell.
Who are these morons out there? Not too shabby. You're on the list, right?
I am.
Did you get a double?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Psychology and sociology. I use them every day.
Every day. It's so healthy.
Hey, ladies, doing? You guys good?
Hey, how are you?
So I'm gonna have one of these things.
We had to drive
The Roost, yeah.
Yes, which was right under the dorms, which they had 2 waffle makers, and it was a race in the morning to get in there after workouts to use the waffle maker. It's idiot proof.
I mean, clearly.
I was on here a couple years ago to see if this software is even working. So everybody who's played on these teams is supposed to pop up when you touch a helmet. Fullback hands.
It's idiot proof. So this is now the team meeting room, right?
This is the team meeting room. Not too shabby.
No. I think I threw that ball.
Yeah. Probably.
There I am.
I can hear him.
That's crazy.
That's Travian.
I'm gonna interrupt him. Yo, what up? How we doing, man?
Y'all interrupting the meeting real quick.
Time to go check and see how the team's gonna be this year, right?
Yeah, let's go find out.
Well, here we are. First fall camp practice going on behind us. The sights and the sounds and the smells of fall in Columbia, South Carolina.
You can smell it for sure.
It's probably 115 degrees out there on the field. Although I miss gearing up for the fall and putting the pads on, I don't necessarily miss dying in the heat.
The heat is unbelievable. Like I'm sweating just sitting here.
But I mean, the beauty of it, I mean, obviously we did 4 or 5 years here. Like you train in it all summer. Spring isn't that much cooler. So
Spring?
You're definitely, it really goes from winter to summer in Columbia. But I mean, these guys have been training in it for the last 5 or 6 months, so I'm sure they're geared up and ready to go. And from what we've seen, the work's been put in. And the hay's never in the barn, and this is just the start of fall camp for them. But hopefully a really fun, exciting year for the Gamecocks.
Absolutely. I mean, just looking at these guys are monsters.
Yeah, this is this team looks like an SEC football team, and I think we're really going to see huge strides from Coach Beamer and the staff and the development and the play. I'm excited.
Well, I mean, you played in the league for a long time.
Yep.
This looks like a freaking NFL roster, right?
Yeah, it does. And you think, new age of college football, there's a lot of roster turnover, and it's across every school, across every conference. And the good thing is you can get a bunch of players that have played a lot of football.
For sure.
You get Rocket Sanders, and you get some receiver transfers, a couple tight end transfers, some offensive linemen, defensive linemen. Like, there's 3 or 4 guys probably on both sides of the ball that are plug and play that you get from a prior SEC
other schools,
or SEC school. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, I'm getting goosebumps just listening to the
whistles, the yelling, the coaching,
the trash talking.
Yep.
God, I miss it.
Yeah, I mean I think that was a huge part of our success here. Is we had a really good balance of one, we played against a hell of a defense
For
every
sure.
single practice.
Every single practice.
So they were able to train us, and I mean, not to toot our own horns, but we were pretty good offense too. So they played a really good offense. So we're able to train each other. And what's the phrase? The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So the harder you practice and the harder it is, Monday through Friday.
The games are a little bit easier, for sure.
Saturday's the fun part. Where you get to go let loose and have fun.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's here. Like,
It is.
There's no getting around it. And in 4 weeks, we're going to be in Williams-Brice Stadium.
Rocking and rolling, man.
And
it happens in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
I mean, this fall practice, I mean, it lasts very, very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that like you and I have talked about prior to us even starting the show, but the facilities now compared to what they were when we were here.
Dude, they have an ice cooler that people can just walk into.
Why are we not, Dakota, why are we not recording this from the ice cooler? Like, can we go to the ice cooler to do this? I mean, it's 100 degrees for us from us here right now. But yeah, they have an ice cooler. They have indoor. They have like we're looking at their locker room right now. When they finish up, they have things that air out their helmets, their cleats, their knee braces. Like I remember we would put ours below our locker, and they would get mad at us if we put it in our locker because the sweat would dribble out.
Yep.
I mean, the technology and the state-of-the-art facility, like this place is greased up and ready to go on fire and win an SEC championship
100%.
game and all that stuff. So
it is 9 day different.
Yep.
9 day, and for the better.
I mean, and you think about the staff here. You know, Dal Loggins has OC NFL experience. Joe DiCamillis, the special teams coordinator now, he has NFL experience. Clayton White played in the NFL, has been in the SEC, ACC, has been at big time football. Like this staff is greased up, ready to go. The talent they keep bringing in year over year, the transfers, the high school recruits. Like,
so I completely forgot. Markwell Blackwell is the running backs coach here.
Yeah.
He's a Tampa guy.
Is he?
I've known him since I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, he was at A&M prior. There you go. Well, we need to get him on the pod.
Absolutely. I gotta go sneak and find him.
Yeah, but I mean, we're sitting here and like, unfortunately, you guys can't watch how dominant the Gamecocks are, but there's been a couple bombs over the top, a couple interceptions. It's just the life of day one of fall camp. There's going to be the good and the bad, the ugly. Get that out of the way 4 weeks before.
Get the ugly stuff out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, that was a thing. Obviously, I played fullback, so I was just told to go run into the wall. But obviously, being in the big meetings, but the offensive coordinators would challenge quarterbacks. Dude, see what you can do. See what you can get away with in camp right now. You're playing against a heck of a defense, which is going to be the same thing you're going to do every Sunday. So let's see what you can do right now. If you end up trying to make it and you can't make it, okay, let's get to our second progression. But we'll learn that after you make the mistake. And that's why you got the clicker and the coaching and all that stuff. It's the development from day one of fall camp to week one is astronomical. 4 weeks are leaps and bounds.
No question about it. No question about it. Like you said, man, you get all the ugly stuff out of the way, figure out what you can do, figure out what you can't do, and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, this
Make
is
your game plan.
very fall camp you were able to partake in. Spring ball.
Spring was a different story.
What were you, 2 for 5 or
1?
1 for 5.
Played in one spring game. I played in more alumni spring games with
Then you have regular spring
than I have,
Yeah,
which
but I mean,
is kind of hilarious.
yeah, I mean, but here we go, and like the progression that you can have just in 4 weeks. I mean, Lenore Sellers, like, I'm fired up to watch him. Not only a freak of an athlete, a heck of a football player, but an incredible kid. I've had the chance to get to know as a part of his recruiting portion too. But great kid, great family. I think he's going to do big things.
He's got to do big things.
I guess he kind of mirrors your game, right? You were, I mean, you ran 4.9. He runs 4.5.
I ran a forever. I could not run these guys. I mean, in high school you could get away with outrunning people, but I'll never forget. I think it was Clifton Gathers hawked me down, and he was
290
at 300. I mean, who knows? And I was like, okay, well, I better start putting on some weight because I'm not outrunning these guys.
Yeah, but I mean, the good thing is you were able to rip it behind the linebackers, and you know, we were able to have a good run game to be able to make those backers step up and create those holes behind.
For sure.
But here we go. We're coming to a new period. Looks like we're getting to special teams, which
that was always a blessing for me.
You were in an individual period, you and Coach Reeves and Coach Mangus and the HPC. Oh, how about the HPC? Let's talk a little bit about his special football.
What was the special football?
He had his own little football where he would mock you guys during practice because you guys would make a bad throw or this or that, and he would do his phase where Steven, this is easy.
Yeah,
This is
let
easy.
me see that ball.
He'd tell one of the guys, go get my ball. And they'd bring out his ball, and you can literally drop kick it, and it's going to turn into a spiral.
Yeah.
And he would drop back and take his little 4 or 5 or 6 step drop, and we'll rip it in there and be like, Steve,
It ain't that hard.
it ain't that hard.
It ain't that hard.
It ain't that hard. I can still do it.
Yeah, take a drop and have to read the defense, though.
Have Melvin Ingram, Clifton Geathers, Cliff Matthews, and Lottie Ajiboy run at your face.
Yeah. Let me know how that works out, Coach.
Yep. But, I mean, going into the phase they're in now, special teams, obviously, 3-phase game, offense, defense, special teams. Special teams, I mean, time in the NFL, even time in college, like, you have to win at least 2 of the 3 phases to win a game. You can't
Absolutely.
win one of the. So this has been a differentiator. You think the phrase Beamer ball and
Special teams.
and Virginia Tech and Frank Beamer and all those days, like this, they won a bunch of games on special teams. And then obviously Coach being Frank's son, having that development and all that stuff to it, and bringing in Joe Camillus, a former NFL special teams coordinator. I think this could be a differentiator for us as well.
For sure.
Oh, I know that voice. That is Sean Elliott.
Yep.
That voice yelled at me a lot. A lot.
He's awesome.
Yeah. How come you didn't pick up that Mike linebacker? How come you didn't take him head on? I told you to put your head on the outside. I told you to have a better base. I mean, he made our program
Significantly
so
better.
much better when we were here, and I would imagine leaps and bounds having him back and his intensity and his knowledge, his head coaching experience, his.
Well, he's a guy that he tells you to run into the Mike linebacker. You want to do it.
Yep.
Because he's in your face. He's intense. He's headbutting you. I mean,
Yep. But afterwards, he's giving you a hug and
Yep.
he's celebrating you and he's telling you how great you are. But he's also like, right after that, he's also like, hey, we can do this next time. We can get better.
Yep. He's a positive reinforcement guy, and those are the kind of guys you want to play for.
Yep. I mean,
no question.
Mike Fury, the receivers coach, he's played 8 or 10 years in the NFL. Head coaching experience, NFL coaching experience. Torian Gray, another former NFL guy. Travian Robertson, who we bumped into yesterday when we were walking through the facility. Like one of the absolute dogs that we had during our playing days. He set the tone. Whether it was in the dorm room, whether it was on the practice field, in the weight room, like, dude set the tone, and everybody folled suit. Whenever
100%.
Travian spoke, like,
People listen. Yep.
oh, shit.
Got you excited. I mean, he's unbelievable. And knocking on the door and interrupting his meeting.
Yeah.
He's like, who in the is at the door? Who's knocking? Who's interrupting my meeting?
Yeah.
He's like,
and,
hey,
and then he saw you, and it was like
DiMarco,
a
what up?
completely different attitude.
For sure.
If it was, I wish it was like a current player that was doing it, like a quarterback or somebody, he would have probably tried to sack him.
Absolutely. This is freaking amazing, though. Just looking around. I mean, this is getting me fired up.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we spoke about too, but and it was something that Coach Beamer's always harped on. But it takes a village.
Yep.
I mean, when you hear Coach Burgess spoke of it yesterday. I mean, it takes a village from the medical staff, Trainer Clint. He's still here from our time here. The weight room staff, Coach Luke Day, and all those guys. The equipment staff, Larry Waters, those guys. The video staff, Joe Lyles.
Yep.
I mean, it takes.
I saw him yesterday. It does take a village.
The behind-the-scenes stuff. There's probably close to 70 people in this building, including coaches, that make this process work.
Yep.
That make practice go smoothly. Like, you train kids, you probably are the ones having to set up the cones, and it's a waste of 5-10 minutes every single period with the transitions. But everything is so professional. We talked like this is an NFL model practice now, where everything's laid out. You do walkthroughs before, you do your hydration, you do your all your nutritional stuff. You get done with the weight room, you foam roll, you do your prehab, and that way you come out here and you don't have to worry about a thing. You are greased up and ready to go.
You are worried about football and football only.
Yep, and that's what it should be, and that's why I think we're going to have the season we're going to have.
Yeah, I feel like people are definitely sleeping on these guys. You know, the schedule we talked about the other day. The schedule is insane.
I mean, it's the SEC in general. We substituted Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee for Ole Miss, Alabama, and
Oklahoma
and LSU.
Yeah.
So maybe we lose another one. But like, Tennessee's been a top 25 team in the country. Florida has been on a little bit of a down swoop. But who wants to play Georgia right now? But we talked about this the other day. To be the best, you got to beat the best.
100%.
So, like, no team in the SEC shies away from playing anybody, but you know, Georgia's the gold standard, and that's what everybody's chasing. And if you don't think Kirby's saying, hey, dude, we have a target on our back, and we're the team that everybody wants
For
to beat
sure.
because we're going to make other people's seasons. And I mean, when we were in college, like it was the Bama, those were the teams
Yeah.
that we were chasing, and sure enough, 2010 we got them.
Absolutely.
We got 'em.
Absolutely. It's a different atmosphere. I mean, I can feel the energy. It's like palpable
Yep.
out here.
Yeah, I want to be that just goes into Coach Beamer's charisma and his passion, and I mean we've all tracked him the last 3 years on why he wanted this job. Like,
Right.
Dude could have gone anywhere in the country. He's an absolute stud, but he wanted to come back here to South Carolina to build this place back to what it was when we were
playing. Yep.
So, and I mean, he almost mirrored our time, so he knows what it looks like. He's tasted what it's like to win here in Columbia, and I think we're definitely on that upward trajectory and going to get there soon.
No questions about it, man. And the facilities, and like you're saying, the staff, and just the overall environment it's primed.
Yeah. Do you want to go let's go put a helmet on. Let's go show these guys what's up.
I want to go out
Kidding.
there in 7-on-7.
I'm not
right
trying to break myself right now.
now. I wouldn't mind doing a little 7-on-7 though.
Well, that's right up your alley.
We
Just
still
drop
got it.
back,
Yeah.
drop back and sling it, no worries.
Oh, yeah.
See me, the only period I really had to get up for was inside drill. Inside drill is 9-on-7. You have all your interior guys without two receivers, and the defense has everybody but corners and safeties. Actually, it's really 9-on-8 because they always had an extra hat in the box. But I mean, that was when a fullback got a shine. We're running power, we're running ISO, we're running lead weak, we're running stretch, all that stuff. That was like the only period
I hated it.
really had.
I hated it.
So I mean,
Having to get under Garrett Anderson.
yeah, a little sweaty down there.
Oh,
A little sweaty down there.
I had to put freaking hand sanitizer on. Get
Yeah,
that
who was
stench off.
who was the worst center you had to get under? Was it Garrett? Was
Yeah,
the worst center
yeah.
yours?
He sweated more than anybody. Besides maybe Justice.
Yeah, Justice Cunningham. I mean, he was Mr. Irrelevant here in 2013 or 2014. Heck of a player. We'll have to get him on one of these shows. But Justice's claim to fame. Yes, he caught a pass against Vandy and his helmet came blowing off, and he went up and shook his dreads off. But dude had to change his cleats twice of practice.
At least.
I mean, he would walk. I mean, we'd finish stretch, and he's walking. It's like, and you see the sweat dribbling off his cleats.
He had like gangrene on his feet, sweating so much.
So, like diving into practice like this, who on the defensive side, whether it be defensive line, linebacker, safety, who from our playing days, who were you like, one, I can't wait to compete against you because you're a stud, and who were you like, I want to do everything in my possible ability to stay away from his side of the field.
Clowning for sure.
Yep.
I mean, couldn't even get the ball off.
Yep.
3-step drop, he's already sacking me. But as far as like defensive backs, I mean, DJ. And then Stefan.
Yep.
I mean, I love throwing against those guys.
Yeah, well, they got you better. They got the receivers better, and that was.
Sure.
I mean, you got to think it was one-on-one. It was Alshon going against Stefan,
Yeah.
and then it was Jared Cook or one of our stud tight ends going against DJ Devontae Holloman. Like it was.
Yeah, I mean.
It was always good on good.
Yep.
Yeah, I think one of the segments we're most excited about doing is having some of these current players come on, having former players on, but I mean, especially these current players. Like these guys they work their tails off from
For sure.
January all the way through December. The only time you have off would be Maymaster, right?
Yeah.
If they even have that off at this point. But we all know who they are playing football. We know their numbers. We know where they're from. We know all these things and that things and their talents and abilities. But I think a cool piece to do is like, let's find out who these guys are without their helmets
For
on.
sure. Yeah.
What they like, what's their why, what pushes them to come in here and work for 12 months, why they chose South Carolina, some of their favorite moments here, all this stuff. I mean, I think I can sit here and say myself, why did I come here? To play in the SEC, to play under Coach Spurrier, to play against the best. And I knew, just like a lot of these guys know, let's look at who goes to the NFL. It's guys that play in the best conference
For sure,
and,
yeah.
and play at an extremely high level. And like, that's the recipe. And I think that's why we have the recruits that are coming in here. We have the support that's coming in here. I guess let's let you be the first one. Like, why did you come here?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I think, just playing the SEC is the first thing. And then Coach Spurrier, obviously he was the guru of the passing game. And I was like, why would I not? And to be honest, I had no idea where University of South Carolina even was on the map in high school. And then, they start recruiting me, and I'm getting handwritten letters and phone calls from Coach Spurrier. I'm like, it's kind of cool.
The intentionality. I mean, that's like that's a piece.
Yeah.
We had a Justice Cunningham reverse change of cleats going on over here. But we're extremely excited to do segments like this where we have these guys come on and tell us who they are, what they cherish in life, why they do it, and kind of dive on in it. Because I mean, you got to think all you fans would love to know who these guys are without their helmets on, and
on a personal level,
yeah, and if this can spur into some sort of NIL partnership or something along the lines of that, where they can give us an NIL pitch and there's a good opportunity for one of our listeners to jump on board with them. I mean, that's what it's all about, giving back to the university. Like, I think we accomplished it, and I think we can still help from that standpoint, is leave this place better than it was when we came here.
Yep.
And I think in the new age of college football, of supporting NIL and going out there and helping these guys source deals, and it's not a pay-for-play model. It's like these guys are creating marketing deals, and they're out there in the community doing the work for these NIL dollars that they're making. So, I mean, if there is an opportunity to lead into that, we'd love to
absolutely
to entertain that.
And I think what you said earlier, I mean, let's get these guys without the helmet on, without the shoulder pads on, and kind of get to know who they are on a personal level.
Yeah, and I think it's cool for them to hear our stories and our
For
experiences here, because there's always like past, present, future, and these guys need to know the past to understand the present.
Yep.
And then as they understand that, then they're like, well, I'm going to take this to a whole nother level.
Right.
And that's what we did.
I wish we would have had this when we were playing.
Yeah. Yeah, your NIL would have been, your market would have been pretty large.
I think Budweiser probably would have been a good
I think
partner.
For me, it just would have been a few cold beers, some pizza, a couple burgers, maybe a couple free rounds of golf. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. Simple.
Looking forward to talking to a couple guys and giving you guys some inside the scoop content.
Hey, let's go grab some guys.
Yeah, let's see what they got. So one of the segments we were super excited to do was to have current players on, and we have Boogie Huntley here with us to find out who they are without their helmets on and dive into what makes them tick. And yeah, just to hear more about Boogie. We all know you're number 95. Defensive tackle. You've been here, 9 years?
Yeah, going on 10.
Yeah, going on 10.
Yes,
Boogie's been around a while, and he's. Are you officially the old head? Do they call you the old head in there?
Not yet, but I feel it. I just saw this my first time with the SEC graduate patch, and just seeing that, I sent it to like Jabari Ellis, Zach Pickens, all those guys, MJ Webb. Like, man, I'm old now.
Guys that passed the torch.
Yeah,
onto
they
you,
did.
and you're carrying on the legacy now.
100%.
And I know from a leadership standpoint, talking with Coach Beamer and other people around the building, you've been incremental for the off season and pushing guys and spring ball, and I mean, there's a good chance you're going to be a captain again this year and all that. So, going to be really excited to watch you go out there and put your next foot forward and lead this team the way it's supposed to be led.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty easy too. With our team, these guys, it's not even like I'm a leader, he's a leader. We all kind of are fitting. We all feel the same thing, think the same way. So it's pretty easy, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you grew up obviously here in Columbia, so you grew up a Gamecock fan. Do you remember this guy?
Oh yeah.
All the press readings.
Yeah, I feel like everybody does, honestly.
He's a legend.
Yeah, I mean a legend, 100%. So, no, I'm just. It's crazy. It's crazy. I forgot who I was talking to, but it's my last year, my 5th year. It all just hit me a couple days ago. Like, man, one, I'm blessed. Like, I'm so lucky just to be able to do the things I'm doing where I'm at. But just being in a certain like situation, like right here in this situation right now, like wow, So
there's not many guys like you that think like that. Just to be completely honest, man. A lot of guys take shit for granted.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to hear. I mean, a guy, a current guy that.
Yeah, I mean, living in the moment. Like you think we're for 13, 14 years removed from college. We still remember running out to Williams-Brice Stadium. I remember my last game in this stadium, and like, do I wish I could do it again? Heck yeah. Man. Do I want to do it again? Not really. I'm beat up. Yeah. But I mean, it obviously is a blessing, and Gamecock Nation, the fans here are absolutely incredible and loyal as they come. So I guess to lead into a segment, like, obviously we're former players. We kind of want to, like, one of our deals and Letterman's Association, everything is to kind of pass the torch on to the next generation. How could us former players and Gamecock Nation, like, how could we support you? Obviously, NFL aspirations and all that going forward, but NFL, I mean, I was blessed to play for a long time, but very easily could have been 1 or 2 years. Like, what do you want to do when you're done playing? Like, what's ultimately, what do you want to do in life?
Man, I feel like that's a question I kind of think about a lot. I know just, being from Columbia, high school, college, where I'm at now, people I know, even you, it's something I'm going to lean on my mentors, really. I really focus on making connections with people, building relationships. And so when that day comes, when I hang the cleats up, I have a couple ideas here and there, real estate, all these things. And so really I'm just going to, talk to the people who I respect, who I trust, and just ask for advice. Because one thing I have learned in college football is you got to ask for help sometimes. This is how life goes. So I'm just going to talk to people,
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to, you kind of have, while the water's hot, you got to take advantage. So, while you're still relevant and you're still in the know, and I mean, we're thankful enough to play as long as we did here and have success here, so we're able to be remembered. But you have a 3 to 4 year window until you're kind of a has-been. We are kind of has-beens.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny because I hope y'all don't see yourselves as that, because I don't think anybody in Columbia does. Y'all aren't running out the sandstorm, maybe not in the limelight, but both of y'all, I could say, being here, have left a big legacy. So I thank y'all for that too.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Our main purpose and goal being here was to leave it better than we found it.
100%.
And we like to think that we accomplished that, but this place still hasn't won an SEC championship game, and still hasn't had the aspirations of playing for a national title and those things. And that's obviously what everybody wants to do every year. So we did accomplish a lot, but there's still a lot on the table.
Yeah.
And I know you guys, with as hard as you guys have been working all off season, in the leadership and, I mean, the defensive line room in general, you guys, that's the old head room.
Yeah, we got a stout room, in my opinion. We got a lot of guys who have played a lot of football, who got years under their belt. And so it's, like I said, even that group is super going to meetings. We all know what to do.
You have
we
a
don't
pretty,
have
you
to
have a pretty
install
good
the
coach
same.
too, though.
Oh, man. Oh,
Travian's
man.
unbelievable.
He's a badass.
He is, though. He
He's
really
a
is,
badass.
though. That is a player's coach, too, man. It's like,
Well, he lived it, man. He knows the deal.
100%, 100%. It's fun in there with him, man. We be joking in there, so we really have a good time. And
I mean, in all reality, Travian had a kid in college and had to grow up really fast, but he was like the dad of the group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their room was 2 down, and Steven and I are throwing parties in our dorm room, and we hear a thump on the door, and we're like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
Travian woke one of the kids up in Travian's room. We better turn it off. Let's get in line. So I'm sure he's carried that forward and mentoring you guys and loving on you guys. And I mean, he's still a great buddy of ours. And I mean, I played with him in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of a kind. And when he came back 2 years ago, I was so fired up and excited.
Yeah, I remember seeing when he was supposed to come back. I just looked at a picture, and the first picture I saw was him yelling. It was like the first picture on Google. And I seen it, I was like, oh, man, who is this? Who is coming in here? But, man, he came in, it was like that. Everybody rocked with him. He's like one of us, it's just he's coaching. So it's real cool being with him.
Was he talking any trash when interrupted the meeting yesterday?
Nah, he was laughing. I thought it was cool because, I mean, being from Columbia, I see y'all, and I know Coach. I'm like, hold on, what's going on? Whoa, yeah. So, Coach, T-Rob started laughing, smiling. And that's the thing because, he was a dad to our group a little bit. And he is the leader of our group as well. But he's also sometimes a little kid. He can be a little kid sometimes. So he was all laughing and smiling and everything. It was funny.
One thing that Steven and I missed out on during our time here was obviously NIL and the transfer portal, and you've been here coming up on your 5th year, and I mean, obviously you had success, so there were opportunities for you to go elsewhere, but you stayed here. I mean, you're a Gamecock and you bleed garnet and black just like Steven and I do, and there's a legacy piece, and you're going to be remembered forever for doing that. But I mean, in the short term, there's NIL circulating, and there are certain deals you can do here in Columbia and around the state. I mean, if you could pitch any NIL deal, what would you like, and how could we help out, or some of our viewers help out?
Man, I think it's another thing I actually kind of picked this up in high school, but really connections. I've done a couple of NIL deals. Some just do this, post, cash in pocket, do this, we'll give you a discount, whatever. The deals where I can kind of meet people and connect, make a relationship, and build those relationships. Those are the best deals because that's what's gonna help me 40 years from now.
In the long run,
In the long run,
Yep.
like I can do a post and get some cash in pocket. That'll be cool now, But will I see that cash 20 years from now? No. So
short-term games, long-term results.
So I want to meet people. I want to go places, talk to people, do stuff like that. Like you were saying with the Letterman Association, meeting y'all. Like I'm just now meeting you, and that's a privilege. And I hope I can build that connection. But that's what this is about, in my opinion, is just meeting people, talking, and just building relationships.
I mean, I'm
Well,
getting
like he was saying, I mean, it's football is a blimp in the life. It happens in the blink of an eye. It's over. You work your entire life, 20 plus years, and then it's done.
Done.
What's next?
Yep.
So I think having you saying like you want to build connections with business leaders and other stuff. I mean, it's a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get goosebumps like hearing you say what you said because there's 109 other guys in that locker room that might not think like that, but long-term thought process, mindset of like what's down the road 15, 20, 30 years from now. Like it's an honor for them to have you and your presence in there because you're going to be a catalyst to changing the mindset of not, the money now is great, but the relationships and the long-term results that are sitting there to be had, like that's like you're so wise for thinking that, and your presence and you talking in there is going to change the dynamic and create the mindset of South Carolina is going to be successful because one, we were able to support players from an NIL standpoint, but also the relationships and the business people that you meet in town because you wore number 95 and you had X amount of sacks and South Carolina won this many games. That's going to provide you that opportunity to develop those relationships and make a lot more money down the road.
Yeah, I mean it's a blessing again too, man. I was thinking about that sandstorm because the feeling of it running out. I think I got 6 more of those.
Yep.
Because just talking to other guys who have done it, they say you don't really get that feeling anymore.
No.
And so
it's weird in the stands now.
Is it?
It's weird. It's like I want to jump up and start going nuts, but people are going to look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't super fan too much, but in your heart,
No doubt. Another piece that, we did a lot of work when we were in college with Epworth Children's Home and different charities. And I know you've been a big advocate. I've done Christmas shopping events and I've hosted other philanthropic things. And one person's there at every single one, and that's Boogie Huntley. So let's talk about what the community and giving back. Like you've been given this platform to play football at the University of South Carolina. Like why do you want to pass it forward? Why do you want to serve the community so much?
I feel like that's what this is all about. I remember being being a kid who looked up to guys who did stuff like that 1-2. And, I know people very close to me who use those resources. So if I can do something to help, that's like the least I could do. Like I said, I've been so blessed. I will say it as many times as I can, but I've been so blessed. So just giving back, that is truly the least I could do. And so anything I can do, I will do.
It's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear somebody talk like this.
It's real though, because especially with NIL, we play football. I love to play football. We're getting paid to play football. I love to get paid. And then, I got housing, free food every day in the facility. It's a great life. And so if I can give back, I got to give back.
Dude, we are excited to watch you kick some tail in Williams-Brice Stadium.
Definitely.
And we're so proud that you're one of the leaders of this team, and this program. And, with your influence, man, big things are ahead.
Appreciate you.
It's sweltering hot out here. How the hell are you guys doing this right now?
It's the first day, dude.
He's coming from Tampa.
It's
He's getting soft
yeah,
on us.
okay. It's not like this in
Dude,
Tampa.
no.
You
No,
live out
there's
you
a
live on a
breeze.
freaking swamp.
There's a breeze though. There's no breeze here.
He lives in the nest.
He lives in the nest.
nest,
Yeah,
the roach
sorry.
nest.
Yeah. No, the only breeze that comes through here is from downtown. It's just straight concrete. It's awful. But we'll all be used to it in about 3 or 4 days.
You got to.
Yeah.
What's the other option?
You don't have
Don't
one.
play? Yeah. But we were talking off camera, but what made you want to come here?
I think just being able to wear the Block C on my helmet, Carolina on my chest, having a SEC graduate patch on my jersey, all that stuff. I thought about just representing my home state, and just being able to have my family both from the Low Country, Myrtle Beach, and
Right.
Greenwood, South Carolina area. Like meet in the middle, like so all my family can come to games. And then you look at, you know, the amount of graduates and just people throughout the state that have come from this university and own businesses and just stuff like that.
Right.
Like it sets you up for life once you get the degree, and then it helps that you stick around and play for a while. You know, it goes a long way. For sure.
Also helps when you play multiple positions, because you
doubt.
came in here as a quarterback. You still play quarterback.
So I came in as a quarterback. I played a little bit of wide receiver like my freshman year under Shi Smith and a couple other guys.
Yep.
The last 3 games started at quarterback after the whole coaching change, that crazy stuff.
Connor was your quarterback.
Connor
coach for
was,
3
yeah,
games.
he was, and went into the 2021 season starting quarterback. Went through spring ball starting, went into fall camp starting.
So you hurt your foot.
Had a couple weird things happen with my foot. Got sat out for a little while. Came back in against Georgia week 3 after Zeb went down. Foot still not healed. Played 3 more games, I think it was, and then hurt it again against Vanderbilt in like the second quarter. Tried to finish the game out and, you know, could barely walk after.
I mean, you have the grit that I think Steven and I pride ourselves that we played with. I mean, we didn't miss many games because of injuries. Steven missed more games for other reasons. But you definitely play with like a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, there aren't too many quarterbacks that you ask to be the F inserting on a run play, or the F was the lead blocker on a bubble screen, and off returner on kickoff return, and covering kicks and being in the punch shield. Like, you have to have a little nastiness to you to want to do the fullback dirt work, which I saw that you were talking to Jacob Hester. You played fullback back in the day.
Yeah, I did.
I was with him at the San Diego Chargers my rookie year.
Nice.
So I was able to learn from him a bunch. But
He's a good
yeah,
dude.
I mean, to have a former fullback on the show.
Old back in the day, back in the old days. But
Neck
yeah.
roll.
No, I
Did
mean
you have a
that was
split
like
helmet,
that was
or-
like Pee-wee, but I did have the freaking crossbar helmet.
Dude.
What was that, the Thurman Thomas? Didn't you have that?
Yeah.
Wow. You want to talk about
Big old pads, dude. Oh yeah, the glory days, man.
Yeah. So I mean, let's dive in a little bit to, like, you've done a lot in the community. You've had a lot of impact here. I think you're working on your master's degree right now. So I mean, you're like, Steven and I joke around, like, but we're also like serious. Like, we left this place better than we found it. And I mean, you came in, you're a COVID baby.
Yeah.
You came in here in the
COVID
wild
baby.
west, and then you came through, and then the NIL and transfer portal and all these things opened up. And like, talk a little bit about like the transition that was not here when you started. Now it's here, and how it is, changed the game for good, for bad. Like, how has it impacted your time here?
I think it just goes back to, like, you have to have the want to really, like, if you're going to commit to a program. My parents always taught me, finish what you started. And I came here and there was no NIL. There wasn't any, pay to play, stuff like that. And I kind of stayed true to that. Like, I didn't come here for money. I came here because I loved this, this city, the university, the team. And I don't think I've ever wavered from that. Obviously, NIL is a great thing. It's changing the scope of college athletics, not only football, but every sport in college. And I think it can be used for good. At other times, when you get into the whole pay-to-play stuff, I think it gets the true, like, purpose of it kind of gets mixed up. But I mean, that is where we are. That's where we're at now in college.
I think there's a short-sighted, like, I want money, I want it now. How's this money going to help impact me in my life right now? But then you had the legacy piece and remaining loyal to a place and really creating impact. And like, we had Boogie on, and Boogie's talking about, like, I want to meet everybody in the city of Columbia, because one of them is going to be my future employer, and they're going to teach me how to run this business world. And then eventually I'm going to hire out people from them that I've been involved with as well. So
That's a great point.
Just from a short-sighted standpoint, yes, the money's awesome now, and it's creating impact, and it's providing an opportunity, but long-term, there's a lot of other things that are going to be created from this, and the relationships, and the
No doubt.
mentoring piece, and the internships and all that stuff.
I mean, I think
Take
that's the
advantage of.
coolest part about him and Boogie is that they're talking about 40 years in the future. They're not
Yeah.
talking about right now, and that's. I was telling him, man, it's refreshing to hear young kids talk like that because there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. So to hear like young kids talk like that, it gives me a little hope.
A little hope.
A little bit, a little hope.
Well, and then the impact
true.
that you guys are going to carry in the locker room.
Yeah.
And there's 100 plus guys in there that are looking up to the guys that have been there, done it the right way.
Yeah.
And for them to see you guys and to model it and live it and it not be fabricated, it's real, genuine. So like that's what it's about. And
No
that's
doubt.
where real impact and passing the torch. And I will say, you're going to leave this place better than you found it.
100%.
And as a Gamecock, as former players, like that's awesome for us to see.
It's just crazy seeing all the cool shit they have now.
Yeah.
I mean, they got all this. They got coolers you can walk into if you're too hot.
Y'all had y'all were
We were
over
at the
there
bubble.
the freaking
Proving grounds.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and y'all had the
Indoor
old
was-
indoor,
old
right?
indoor, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even.
It's the indoor track now, isn't it?
Yeah.
There would
You
be
guys-
a couple drops of rain. We were joking about it with Coach Bird. There'd be a couple drops of rain. Coach would look up. All right, let's head to the bubble. So we had to drive our own cars.
over there.
Yeah.
And there'd be stragglers. He'd be like, "Where's Bobby Wallace? Where's so and so? How come he didn't make it yet? It's been 15 minutes. Where'd he
Yeah.
go? He must have went to the bar."
I mean, we had guys jumping like we both had F-150s, and these guys are like
back
hopping
of
in
the
the back
yeah.
with their pads. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Don't leave it.
That's classic.
Yeah,
dude.
it's the we took a tour of the facilities yesterday, and it's night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day different. You guys got all the cool stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, from the recovery treatment standpoint, this is the NFL model. Training camp is kind of mirrored on walkthrough. Like, you really don't have to leave because you have an hour and a half now, probably a dead time. You guys are going to the weight room to get stretched out. You're going to the training room to get treatment, cold tub, hot tub. Like, at your fingertips, there's not 10 minutes that can go by here where you don't have an opportunity to get better.
Right. I mean, it's like we're done with practice. I think we got done 11:45, something like that. We got lunch upstairs. We don't have. I think we have like a snack or something that starts at 3:15. Our next meeting's at 4, so everybody don't have to be back. If you want to go home, you can go home. But I mean, you got all those like training modalities. You have a freaking state-of-the-art weight
right
room.
here.
Just like there's no, in my opinion, like, you got guys cramping up and stuff. Like, why wouldn't you take the time to just take care of your body?
Well,
you know
I know
what I mean?
he said something earlier, prehab.
Yeah.
You have to prehab so you don't have to rehab. It's the truest thing of all
Yeah.
time. I was going to ask you before you said that, what is a day in the life of you on during camp? Like, how you wake up to when you go to sleep?
Yeah, so we have to be in here at 6:45. I usually wake up around 5:30, 5:45. I'm in here I think I got in here today at like 6:20, 6:30. As soon as I get in here, I change, I go get taped, I go eat breakfast, come back in the locker room. I usually look over the install for, 10, 15 minutes before we head up to team meeting. Meetings last, we have team meetings, special teams, position. We usually come out here, walk through. Walkthrough runs into practice, more walkthroughs, full practice. Then as soon as we're done, I usually go eat. I spend about an hour and a half in the training room, whether it be like contrast, hot tub, cold tub.
Yep.
One of the,
Norma
a couple
techs
of the
and,
1,000 modalities we have in there. And I usually, like I said, I usually spend around hour and a half, sometimes 2, depending on the day. So I'm out of here by like 2:30. I'll go home. I live at Olympia, so I mean it's 2
Olympia
minutes.
Mills?
Yeah, 2 minutes down the road.
We didn't burn that place down. It's still standing.
It's still standing, dude.
It's seen some things.
It's still standing. But yeah, I mean, I'll go home for like an hour or so just to kick my
Decompress.
feet back
Yeah.
and, chill out for a little bit. Come back up here, snack, meetings. I think we got another walkthrough, dinner, more meetings after, and then we're out of here after we do like a mandatory recovery around 8:15, 8:30. So, I mean, it's not bad. And then I get
that's-
home and I look over the next day's install for about an hour and just draw stuff up that I'm not sure about, take notes on it, and then go to bed at like 10 at the latest.
I'm getting exhausted just hearing the schedule.
But he's
we didn't do that.
No, ours was a little different. Coach Spurrier was a little
Coach
wider
Spurrier,
different
yeah.
as well.
We'd go play golf, or we'd go to Olympia and we were watching film. We were doing something else. But
We did a lot of
we were doing a lot of decompression.
but I will say one thing I remember from is Little League World Series was always like timed up, and I guess it'll be towards the second half of training camp. But I remember watching a lot of Little League World Series when we would lounge around. I remember playing a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Joking around, like obviously training camp, we're about to be in business mode, so we would have a little fun, but in moderation.
Right.
And in moderation.
In moderation.
Moderation.
We have
is for
different
cowards.
moderation.
Different definitions, these two.
Yeah, but if there was one NIL deal that you could get here in the state and Columbia, like what would like really check the box for Luke Doty and something that you'd really like to get?
I've been playing golf for like 3 months now.
Yep.
So, in the state of South Carolina, I think just like golf courses.
Just get an unlimited golf
just
course.
Unlimited golf.
Membership to
Yeah,
every
like
golf course.
yeah, just something like that.
I think they sell those for like $3 million.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's way. I mean, like that's out there, but
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. You know.
I mean,
And
but
it's, I've
short-sighted,
enjoyed it.
far-sighted golf is something that you'll be able to do when you're 80 years old. I would love to watch you play
business.
football when you're 80 years old.
Yeah,
You won't be
but
able to
it's
do that.
not gonna
A
happen.
lot of businesses
A
taking.
lot of business
Yeah.
happens on the golf
Yep.
course, and having those skill sets.
I think we tried.
playing at a
I
young
mean,
age.
we tried to play once or twice a week. Like
Nice.
of the entire month of July, I think we played once or twice a week.
We played. That was one of our decompression things
Yep.
when we played. We'd play a lot of beer golf on Sundays after
Yeah.
games. We would.
Sunday fun day.
We would. We would kick ass in Williams-Brice Stadium.
Yeah.
We'd go kick ass down in 5 Points.
Yep.
We'd wake up Sunday. We had completely off.
Right.
And so we'd go golf and have a good time on the golf course.
That's
and
awesome,
then Monday was
Back
our
to it.
watch tape, strength,
Right.
conditioning, practice that night. Monday night football.
It was night. So we basically had it after the game until Monday at like, I think we had a report at like 4 o'clock or something.
3 or 4.
That's money.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't even practice on Mondays.
Yeah.
The starters didn't really
We
do
did. We'd do
anything.
walk through,
Yeah.
a little
Right.
bit of strength and conditioning stuff.
We could literally just walk through practice. So, and there was a couple times I might have been
May or may not.
a little ripped. I didn't have to practice. It was like, I got to decompress, coach. I got you buzzing my ear up every Saturday night.
Well, speaking of decompress, we know you got all the modality stuff and the recovery stuff that you want to do because this is just day one. There's 30 of them before.
I think we got 2 weeks, not counting like
camp mode?
what's today? I don't even know. I'm in camp mode now. I don't
it
know
the
what
second?
I don't
the
know what
second,
day it
yeah.
is. Yeah. So 3rd and the 4th, and then I think we have 2 weeks straight. We go into a mock game week the 3rd week, and then true game week 4,
Yep.
and then it's on.
Well, staying on top of your body is your best ability is availability.
No doubt.
We hope the best for you this season. We
Appreciate
know
it.
that you're going to lead that locker room, and
Yep.
you're going to make a lot of South Carolina fans proud out there on the field.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah. Thank you all.
Sure, man. Let's go grab a beer, huh?